It really cracks me up how funky our theme is when we're just all just like.
We're just all like.
Yeah, we're really like if you listen to us as a group, we're not exactly like boom 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 boom. Like I like to think we're like, I don't know. It makes me almost feel like the theme is that much funnier. The fact that like as soon as it starts, it's like, welcome to an afternoon. Like
Hi,
you know what I
guys.
mean? Like the mood totally changes right after the.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes we're hyped. I guess
It really depends. Like I guess when we went in on Ginny and Georgia, we were pretty hyped to like demolish them. So there's that.
That's true.
But most of the time, we're just like He-Man fans. Don't hurt us.
I mean, I'm pretty hype about this review.
Me too.
I'm really excited.
This is totally
about
up your guys'
review.
alley.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I'm excited.
I don't really know much about Demi Lovato.
Oh my God.
Kidding. I
Get
know
the
it's
fuck
Selena
out of the
Gomez.
studio right
I'm
fucking
kidding.
now.
Which one believes
I love
in
Denim La
aliens?
Bamba.
Demi Lovato believes
Demi
in
Lovato
aliens.
believes in aliens.
Well, Selena probably
Denim.
does too.
Maybe Selena is an alien.
Maybe.
She does
mean,
always
yes.
look the exact same somehow.
Yeah.
That's called genetics.
It was really I was making the thumbnail for this video, so you guys are gonna know what I'm talking about. When you guys see the thumbnail, you'll realize what happened here. I was trying to make something that like had both groups in it, the Wizards of Waverly Place crew and like the Only Murders in the Building crew, like together, because it is a show about like basically like 3 people.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to put Selena Gomez twice in the thumbnail. And if you guys can tell me which one is even which, like did I use the Wizards one or did I use the Only Murders one? Because they look exactly the fucking same.
Jesus.
That's a compliment, though. I would love to be told that.
No,
like,
I know.
look
She
the
looks
same
great.
At 16 as 29, I think. I don't know.
She still looks like the same.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's some bullshit.
It's some bullshit.
Maybe she is a wizard. Gasp.
I mean, she did. Spoiler. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Spoiler.
Oh,
Wait,
shit.
That's a big spoiler.
Cody, we got to talk about the first episode first. The crazy 10-minute sale.
Okay, Cody, why don't you tell us about... Oh, wait, we didn't really even say who we are or what we do.
Oh, yeah. We should
that's a good
probably
idea.
tell them that. I'm Franny.
I love how people are
I'm
like...
CL.
Like, somebody's first might be us just carrying on like we've known this person forever. Like,
Yeah.
we really don't ever readdress anything like this. If this is your first episode, this is about... We just treat it like everybody already knows.
Yeah.
And like right now, I'm telling you, if this is your first episode, we're super funny. We swear.
We review
And
pilots of TV shows.
We review pilots of TV
Who are you?
shows.
You didn't say.
I'm Logan, and you can listen to us like review a bunch of different pilots of shows, and we're really funny, and it's awesome. So there's that.
Gross.
It's like nasty.
And sometimes we watch the bad shows so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the
That's
goal.
true.
Ultimately, we're just really charming.
I mean, we try to be.
Yeah. I mean, Franny... Anyway.
Wow.
Kidding.
Jesus.
But yeah, so right now we're gonna review Wizards of Waverly Place. I mean, I've never heard of. I mean, I had like heard the name before, but I'd never seen the show. And I just want Cody, go ahead and get into the wiki, and then I just want to give you my like honest opinion on this show, watching it as a full-grown adult.
Can't wait. Okay. Wizards of Waverly Place is an American fantasy teen sitcom created by Tond Greenwald, that aired on Disney Channel for 4 seasons between October 2007 and January 2012. The series centers on Alex Russo, portrayed by Selena Gomez, a teenage wizard living in Greenwich Village, Manhattan, who undertakes training along with her siblings Justin and Max, who are also equipped with magical abilities.
4 seasons. That's a long time for a Disney show. Usually they cancel them after like 2 or 3 seasons because people like grow out of the show. So I guess it was really popular.
It was.
Based on that.
I think this and Hannah Montana are one of the few that have 4 seasons because usually the contract is like 3.
Yeah, it's like, because
this had a movie too, just like Hannah Montana.
It did, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
love it.
So Logan, this was literally your first time watching it?
Yeah.
Or was this your first time watching this episode?
Definitely my first time watching this episode. Possibly my first time really watching an episode. I think I had like seen like them in periphery at places, like you'd be at somebody's house and their sister or they would have it on, or their family or whatever. I've definitely like seen it. Like I know Selena Gomez is like a witch or some shit. And I heard the Cupcake song. So I knew a little bit about the theme. But yeah, really, I didn't know what it was about. It seems like that David kid, his character.
David Henry?
Yeah, Justin, right?
Yeah.
He's in How I Met Your Mother. I like him in that.
He does nothing in that besides sit on the
Exactly.
couch.
That's why I like it, because he's not a very good actor. But I was just going to say, it seems like his character should be the one to actually get the magic. These other two are like actually idiots and can harm people, and he's like the only functioning adult.
You're jumping ahead here.
No, you get that from the first episode.
We'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
You get that in the first episode, though, right away.
Then he's like not a dummy.
The only person that is not okay with a like autonomous robot like sitting with a group of people, like that's insane. He's the only sane person. I would not allow a physical thing to exist in the room that's just a clone of somebody else. That's so fucking scary. And he's like the only one who has an issue with it. Everybody else is like, it's kind of funny.
Jesus.
LOL. That's so scary.
The crazy 10-minute sale.
Oh my god. And that was just annoying.
She's a tornado. Love it.
It's kind of a lazy concept for a pilot, to be real.
Yeah.
Because usually a pilot will like give you some sort of world building idea and like begin the universe for you. And this didn't have anything like that. It was just like it was already pre-established that they were training wizards and like that she's the bad student. Like,
yeah,
they gave us no discoveries on this other than like she be really into discount sales and shit. Like that's all we get from that.
That's all you get from the show. You don't get
but
like
you don't though, right?
Besides isn't
the show actually about like three siblings fighting for like the family magic?
They
or some
don't
shit?
talk about that right away at all.
They do.
They do?
They do, yes.
I guess I missed the first few minutes
because
when you guys
they
were
explain why
rewatching.
the dad doesn't have magic. They literally get into it right away. It's the only, that's what I was getting to. It's the only world building thing in the entire pilot. And it just seems like that idea fails for me because I'm looking at the three of them and only one of them I think is even reasonable to get it.
Yeah.
It's almost like an anti-hero story if any of the other two get it. They're both so dangerous and stupid. Like the little brother is so stupid, it is dangerous.
Well, it's one of those things where like they go over her high school career. She's supposed to be like a sophomore. They end when she's like about to be a college student. Like she grows up. You like the character more as it goes on. She becomes a little more responsible, better at magic.
But not really though, right? Because isn't the whole show about every episode she does something that's like wacky and crazy? Sweet Life of Wizards on
deck. Originally, but like as you get further into a series like this, it's not like that.
We watched multiple episodes in preparation.
We watched multiple episodes from the first two seasons.
Without even getting into spoilers, I'm just gonna say I think that this pilot fails as a pilot to build any sort of universe.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's important.
I agree.
That's important, right? Even kids shows. SpongeBob's first episode is when he goes to work as a fry cook.
Yeah.
Everything has some sort of world building aspect upon a pilot because you're trying to enrich in the world that you're creating.
Well, this feels like it takes place nowhere and is doing nothing because it also never once feels like
it feels like they're in Seattle, maybe.
I could see it.
And
I think that's my...
Go ahead.
I think that's my main problem with Disney shows in general is they're all so slice of life to the point that they want you to be able to jump in at like any point, but there is no like any kind of introduction or world building when it comes to Disney pilots in most cases.
But that's actually still kind of not true. I don't want to review other pilots because that's like the whole point of our show. But I can name like just 6 Disney pilots right off the top that have something major happen in their pilot.
Yeah.
Really? Like what?
Hannah Montana
American Dragon, Jake Long.
Hannah Montana did. Lily finds out.
Yeah.
About her being Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana, American Dragon, Jake Long, Phil of the fucking Future. JK, that one doesn't. That was actually,
like, no.
I was waiting for you to reference that because we watched that the same day, and I thought that had the same issue, but not the point.
It did.
It does have the exact same issue. My Life with Derek, they like kind of introduced the idea of siblings getting down with each other, like in the first episode. So that's world building. There's like
I don't know about this one.
And like My Life with Derek, the pilot is like one of the most flirty episodes between the two step siblings.
Weird. I don't really know the show. I've never really watched it. Is it
that
about
the one about her
siblings?
bedroom?
Yes, it is the one about her bedroom.
It's step siblings. Yeah.
Ew. That's nasty.
Yep.
There's
if
a
you
Disney
want us to
show
review
about
it,
this?
But for the record,
God,
that does
I've never
count
seen
under
this.
the thing I'm saying right now is that a pilot should get me interested in not just the show and like the comedy within it, but like you need to like also grasp onto something new. Like something needs to be exciting or like relevant in the story. You can't just accept it because it's this idea. Like,
yeah,
I
it
like
just feels like they picked up on any other Tuesday and like started the.
Well, it's
show.
like you can say you like the idea of a show about 3 wizards, but shouldn't you make it like an actual story? Like, other than just the idea of like, these are 3 wizards. What do you think of that? Like, they're just like, here you go. That's all we need to do. Like, this is about magic. Shouldn't it have mythos in it? Shouldn't it be more grand, even if it's like a kind of teen boppy like take on it? Like Sabrina the Teenage Witch is exactly this show, but good.
You'll get to it.
Yeah,
You'll
it gets better, but yeah, I do agree that it's like a lot more of a campy version than anything.
There's no life, and I hate the parents, and they don't look trustworthy. They look like 2 adults that found a bunch of kids and are like, "You're our kids.
Oh, God.
Don't tell anyone." Like, they have that vibe to them.
Jesus.
And the reason why I feel that, I can actually explain why I feel that way. I'm not just clowning on it. They have no chemistry at all, and it's weird that they're the parents and are like together. They seem like 2 random adults that happen to be in the same place dealing with the same kids.
That's just Disney parents.
No, it's not.
Really?
The sexual tension between Disney parents is real, motherfucker.
I mean, I feel like
the parents on Even Stevens were gonna fuck any second.
But I feel like Disney, you don't get a lot of like both parents in the shows, so you don't really see a lot of like parent chemistry.
What are you talking about? What show is not with both parents? That's a Raven started that way. Hannah Montana would have been that way, but she, Hannah's mom was like, "Peace out, H-Town now." Like she's not in the show.
Yeah.
My point being,
isn't her mom Brooke Shields? I think. I don't know.
I think so, in like a flashback or some shit.
Okay. I was like, I think she's in there at some point, and there was no chemistry. But again, it was 1 episode, so.
Yeah.
But my point stands. Usually, like, there's like, an episode or 2 about how like they're trying to have a date night, but the kids are too wacky, and that's like the relatable moment. But when these parents do it, it feels weird. Like, it feels like they're like ex-husband and ex-wife that have to hang out with each other. Like, there's no love.
I mean, I'm going to have to analyze it further next time I watch it.
I'm just speaking on purely 4 episodes of... But the thing is like, if this is a slice of life show, it's supposed to be more of the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, if you're telling me there's an outstanding season and a not outstanding season, I still break that rule too, because I watched from all different seasons and I got nothing good out of it.
Well, we watched the best episode there is.
Well, I did like the one we did watch, the Family Game
The
Night
Shakira one?
Well, that one we'll get to in the spoilers. But let's focus on this particular pilot. So there's so much that happens that are like jumps in logic for me. Like, why Harper did half the things she did to avoid, like, what's Alex's mother from finding out she was at this sale, like, defies logic.
Yeah.
Like, it defies possible logic. There is no way anybody would do that. But also, like, the way everybody reacts to it is like the mother is just like this blank slate, like, oh, I guess I'll go get some Teddachinos now. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody acts like that. And this comedy, like, it wasn't, the issue is if it was funny, if it was like over the top and like made me laugh, I'd get it. But it just felt like they were panning out the runtime of when the mother would eventually see Alex. It was like, we don't have enough to cause like any sort of fun hijinks, so we're just going to keep making Harper do dumb shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of the show.
But that's the problem, is that like, if that's a lot of the show and the show's only 20 minutes, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah. I mean, good point. I liked it because I liked everything that Alex Russo wore and thought that was the epitome of fashion. So,
dude, I'm just gonna say it now. This show is so desperate to not spend money.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
You can see the tops of the sets. Like, the streets, they've never filmed on a street.
Dude, they have this whole scene. Okay, this is a little bit of spoilers. I'm sorry. It's Wizards of Waverly Place, people. What are we talking
basically, they go to a sale.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're in wizard school, and wizard school is like after school or like some shit. And Alex is like super into fashion and wants to go to this like crazy 10-minute sale with her friend Harper, because this like mean girl at school is going to that sale, and like they're fighting over a pair of boots or some shit like that. Gigi. Yes, Gigi. So Alex is told she can't go to the sale and has to go to wizard school. So she does like a cloning spell or some shit and like makes a like dummy version of herself to stay in class while she goes to the sale. Her mom ends up being at the sale because she feels bad that Alex can't go and wants to buy like the thing that Alex wants. Harper and her help try to like get her mom to not see her at the sale so she wouldn't get caught. Oh, wow. Wizard class is going on. Her brother knows that like this hijinks has been pulled and is just pissed. He hates fun. And the dad finds out because he tries to let Alex go to the sale and like realizes she's just like a dummy version.
Yeah, which is terrifying.
Yeah, really scary.
And doesn't it like bark and shit or something? Like, isn't it like barking or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
It barks. And then out of context, you're watching a 15-year-old girl like sit on the floor and bark like a dog. And you just wonder what the Disney executives were doing. Like, why is this happening and why am I seeing it? And it feels weird, and it makes you feel weird, and you just want to turn it off because it's very creepy that they showed this to children. I think this show's fucked up and like sneaky and weird.
I mean, I definitely agree with
like
that.
you can find things that are just like a little, like they're just trying a little too hard to be like have a little bit of dirty humor, and it's not funny. It's just weird.
I'll agree with that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Hold on 1 second. We're gonna pause real quick.
And we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Let's just rate the pilot.
Let's rate the pilot. Yeah, we want to talk about more.
The pilot is such a it's just
it's a
nothing.
non-event. Yeah,
It's nothing, and it's weird that everybody loves it so much. It's just for the meme of like the fact that she was mean to another teenage girl, and like that's funny. LOL. That's what makes it popular. That's why it's one of the more popular episodes.
God. Yeah, I mean she's actually really mean, but you didn't give it a rating, Logan.
It's a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10
at best. Yeah.
Okay. I'd say it ranks low on my like favorite episodes, but I'd say it's at least like a 5 out of 10.
I'm gonna go with like a 4. Like I think it shows off the characters for what they are. Like you have a troublemaker, you have an idiot, you have a really smart son, but I don't think it's executed very well. Like I think you get the vibe really well, but you don't get the story very well.
There is nothing in that episode about the little brother at all,
except that he's a doofus and likes to make things bark. That's it.
Yeah, that's nothing. Like, what is that? That's not
the only
That's
character
his
development.
character trait. I was like, that is him.
That's all you get.
Yikes. Yikes. Big
But
yikes.
yeah, we watched some other episodes.
Yeah, all right, so let's go ahead and get to spoilers, whatever you want to call it. So we watched this one episode I want to talk about. It's called Family Game Night.
You want to talk about that one first?
I do.
Okay, let's
I feel
do it.
strongly about it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, guys. It's almost a good episode, but here's a couple of reasons why it's a bad episode. Here we go. Number 1, weird incest jokes.
Yeah.
Not into it. At one point in the episode of Family Game Night, Alex accidentally puts Harper's brain inside of her body with her. So they're sharing a brain. So there's definitely some like ridiculous hijinks with like her having to turn to talk to each other and like making a big deal out of like Selena Gomez both pretending to be Alex and Harper. And like that's the whole meme of the episode, right? And meanwhile, the brother basically gets a little boyfriend.
Yeah, because Harper has like a crush on him.
Yeah. And so the brother starts seeing this girl that he does not like. And they go to a baseball game together, and like the Megatron comes on them and says for them to kiss. But Disney is so fucking cheap that they don't even shoot the baseball scene. They just have him tell the story to the brother. They don't even bother to fucking shoot a scene with a fake stadium with a small crowd of like 8 people. They don't bother to sit him down and record the scene.
No, definitely not.
That'd be too much money.
Yeah, this show takes place in like 3 spaces.
None of which look like New York,
yeah,
by the way.
none of them.
Not
you can
the
see
point.
the tops of the sets sometimes. It's really something.
Anyway, so moments come to moments with this, and like Justin is like basically trying everything to break up with this girl, and then he finds out that Alex has Harper and Alex stuck in like the same head.
Yeah, and he
And
like
the way
invited
they
them
figure-
over to family game. Like
he
invited his
makes sure,
girlfriend.
he invited over his girlfriend for Family Game Night because it's explosive. And after she saw his family, she would never want to go out with him again because they're crazy. Accurate, by the way. Especially since it seems like their parents are divorced.
Yeah.
Because there's no sexual chemistry at all. She's sooner fuck Kelbo. Anyway.
Or Shakira.
Oh, Shakira. That's the same difference.
God.
So What was I even saying? You got me lost on the Shakira Kelbo comment. Oh, yeah. So like, Alex is trying to prove that Harper's in her head, and so she's like, okay, she's like, say something to Harper, and he's like, Harper, what's going on? Are you in Alex's head? And Harper's like, oh my god, I want to suck your dick off. Essentially, is her response, but she sang it in his sister's body.
Yeah.
In his sister's body.
Disney loves to give you
they
those
want
moments.
dirty, weird shit, and I don't like it. And it's so obvious and fucking strange.
I mean,
and
didn't you just tell me that there was a Disney show about siblings?
Okay,
Like,
they never exclusively came out and were like, this is about step siblings getting it on. It was only heavily implied.
like Disney needs to clean up their fucking ass.
Was it not, though? Like, they acted like they'd hate each other. Like, that was the ruse, is like, oh, I hate you so much that I love you. That was like their relationship. Like, you make me so mad, I just want to blow you. Like, that's like their whole thing.
I bet she gets stuck under that bed a lot.
It's horrible.
It was to the point that I hoped that the parents would break up, because I was like, they have more chemistry than the parents do.
They did.
Oh God,
They really
I bet
did.
you can find porn videos.
The couple acknowledged it. You know what? We're doing right now. We're the people who played Derek and whatever the sister's name was. They openly were like reading fan fiction at one point.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
What?
We need to do this
Yeah, there's
show.
a
I've
video.
never seen it. All right, guys, let us know in the comments if you want to see this. But yeah, like
Life with Derek, it's buried.
But
We might be able to find it on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's definitely on YouTube.
It's got to be.
But yeah, I definitely feel like this show does that like a lot in this episode, like more than it needs to.
It does it more than
they're
once.
Like, they're
There's
like switched bodies
Yeah,
at first.
there's an earlier point where it's just switched bodies, so it's entirely Harper inside of Alex, and she goes, Justin, cute shirt, and he's like, thanks. Like, oh my God, my sister noticed me, and it's like,
yeah, it's weird.
Horrible. This show
Vibes are off.
sucks. I hate this show. But it was almost funny, this episode of Family Game Night. It was so close. But with the weird incesty stuff, and then like the girlfriend like flipping out on the parents, and like that's not cool.
Yeah, like.
But then also the weird thing that like it's okay for you to scream around your children that aggressively, and it's like there's a lot of really dark shit in that episode that makes it just a little too fucked up and traumatic for me to like think is funny. I'm just being honest. Like it loses me, and then when it doesn't even put in the effort to get a fucking like video of him at the damn ball game, like how hard is that? How hard is that?
Apparently, really hard because they don't do that ever.
That's
why the movie was so magical, because they were at like a new location. They were on a beach.
There was a cave.
Yeah. We like
Suddenly
saw them in the
interesting.
daytime.
I think I'm gonna watch this movie now right after this, just to see if it's
oh
actually
my God,
any different.
it's so fucking good.
It's probably not.
It's so fucking good.
It's probably.
We gotta
I
review
wanna
it on
know-
Crosscut.
No.
I really want to know Fran's like backstory with Wizards of Waverly Place. Like, is this something that was this your go-to show?
Yeah, this was like one of my favorites. I know so many episodes like by heart. I loved Selena Gomez. I was so into it. I loved her like her Cinderella story movie too. Like she was popular exactly when I was the right age to be a fan of her. So like she was everything. She was the epitome of fashion. She was the coolest. I wanted oh my God, in the intro, like she wears this outfit that I thought was just iconic. She had a denim skirt on with black leggings underneath it, and I definitely copped that all the time. I thought it was hot shit doing it.
I mean, probably, right? I don't know. I am super of the. I was late, and like I watched it because like my younger cousin would watch it.
Yeah, you didn't have cable.
Did you get a pizza?
Because I didn't have cable, and then I would find myself being like, "Huh." Like, I wonder what Alex and them are up to this week. And I would, like, when I would be home, I would go on YouTube late at night and be like, Wizards of Waverly Place, Season 2, Episode 3, Part 1.
I love that.
I was one of those embarrassing kids that liked Disney way too long.
And you were you were also like super into Disney, but you didn't have cable, so you had to watch the clips that rich people post it on YouTube
God.
for you poor folk.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
We really struggled.
When you said, and I quote, I'm just pointing this out that you said this. You said, when I was late, I then returned with, you said I was late, and I returned with, did you get a pee test? Everyone rolled over that joke and didn't even acknowledge it and just left me hanging there.
You're welcome.
And I thought it was funny. And then when you guys didn't respond to it, it made it so much worse for me.
Somebody in the comments will point it out. Right?
It's because it's too real. It's too real.
So
I just got excited. We're talking about like my shit. Like I knew like when the new episodes were coming out, and like I'd make sure I watched it.
Did they come out like once a week? Like
I'm sure, yeah, some shit like that. Like, and it would tell you the time.
Yeah, it was
like Friday, something like that.
Was it another one that did like a bunch of crossovers too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So I was like in Minecraft or the Matrix or whatever the fuck we want to call it.
It's we'll stick with Minecraft. We tried Matrix. It wasn't that funny. We left it alone.
But while we were watching this, and like we watched the episode all the way through to the end, and it does like the Disney Channel like sound that it used to do between episodes, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that dun dun dun. She was like,
like I was like,
like her heart fucking skipped a beat and shit. She's like, oh my God.
I was like, I forgot that noise.
That's a fucking primal noise to her and shit. Some people hear like cats hear the purring of mother, and it's like a sense of comfort. Franny hears that dun dun dun, and it reminds her that life isn't so bleak.
There
Alex
were
has a fun
definitely
life.
crossover episodes.
Yeah.
Because I went to Walmart on the day of its release and bought Wizards of Waverly Place on Deck with Hannah Montana.
Oh my God.
I was that one.
Oh no!
Wait,
how old were you when you did that?
I loved it. I loved it so much. Like this was.
He doesn't even
It
care.
felt like I finally had my time. It was like.
But Cody,
I missed out on my childhood.
Were you in high
I
school?
loved it.
But Cody, I'm gonna ask you again.
You were at least close to
No.
high school. You were almost
I was
there.
middle school, probably. Yeah,
That's
I love it.
insane.
I was
love
almost
it.
there.
I love it.
I love you watching fucking Disney Channel in middle school. That's really awesome. It makes me so happy.
And I like how like it
Dude,
wasn't
in
like
middle
such
school,
a
I was
loser.
watching the worst shit.
I just love the effort that Cody would have to go through to get his Disney Channel fix.
Yeah,
too,
like
you know?
he didn't get to enjoy it like the rich folk. He had to like figure out a way to get his means. He went out and
I lived
scoped
on the
out his
street.
Disney Channel on the front lines. He'd buy Christmas special DVDs because it's all they had available.
When Blockbuster would give away like their DVDs for like $2 and $3, ooh, I snapped that up. I have so many like 2 or 3 episode discs of That's So Raven. I can't even count.
I love that you're looking for the content so hard. You're seeking it out on physical copy.
Would you just rewatch those like 2 or 3 episodes all the time? 'Cause
Dude,
you just
all
had
right.
them?
I would, yeah.
All right, dude.
It
one
would be
day,
like part 1 of season whatever.
when we have our big office filled with like movies and DVDs and everything, like adding all like the collections and like a big collective, you know. We have to keep those. Like there has to be a
they need
folder
displayed.
filled with the Disney Channel multi-episode discs that we can't even keep track of.
I'll see if I still have them. They're probably somewhere.
That's awesome. That's so funny. I love the idea of buying, because I used to do that with Dragon Ball Z, but buying 3 episodes of Phil of the Future seems so fucked up.
They had me. I was like catnip. Like when Selena Gomez put out her first album, I was like, ooh, I was there. It was with her band.
That's literally the whole reason they did the Shakira episode. Like, I want to look at the time when the Shakira episode came out
In the
versus
Shakira
like
episode, they make
other stuff.
They make her uncle Kelbo Shakira. Did you know that he's actually Shakira?
Yes, I do know that.
Did you know that they only did that entire thing, I assume, so they could have Selena Gomez sing Wherever? Is that the name of the song?
I don't
with
know.
Shakira? They just sing
Whenever.
like together. Yeah, I think it's that song, right?
Yeah.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Doesn't she do the Shakira song in her Another Cinderella Story too? Isn't it like Hips Don't Lie is like one of the songs that like...
See, I did not watch that movie because
Oh.
I found it atrocious compared to the original.
No, there's a
Nothing will
Shakira
ever
song.
touch the Hillary Duff seminal classic of
There-
A Cinderella Story. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I love his standards.
Michael Murray or whatever the fuck.
Chad Michael Murray?
Michael Murray. I'm rewatching Gilmore Girls again. And
Yeah.
Chad Michael Murray is in it. As baby.
Chad Michael Murray just did a Jeffrey Dahmer movie, I think, or some shit like that.
That's
or
ridiculous.
like a Ted Bundy movie. Yeah, I think so.
I want to see
He's
that.
a writer and stuff now too. Like he publishes books.
Oh, we're definitely gonna do One Tree Hill, guys. That's totally gonna happen.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's like bad. It's kind of like hipster emo meets the OC meets awful.
That's everything I love.
It's really bad.
I'm probably gonna love
there's
it.
a basketball story with white kids in it, and it's not good.
Realistic as heck.
So weird.
It's not very good, but people really love that show. So like that and Dawson's Creek.
It's just like how with
We'll
the
do
OC.
that. We'll do that with 90210 or something.
We need to do the OC too, because it's
Oh yeah,
like the
OC.
basketball plot about white kids feels very much like the OC.
No, that's the orphan, the like homeless orphan story.
Yeah.
Played by Blue Eyes White Dragon.
And he's supposed to
Ed
be
Coleman or whatever the fuck his name is. The whitest actor ever. Fucking Blue Eyes White Dragon himself playing the underprivileged kid. Dude, Seto Kaiba.
Did you ever?
Seto Kaiba is shaking, bro.
Oh, we're getting really off topic.
Sorry. Yeah, we should probably.
I don't know why I'm picturing him in one of those like green jumpsuits from the movie Rebound.
Guys,
movie?
okay, I want to get back to Wizard of Waverly Place. So, who gets the power? Definitively, who gets it?
I forget.
So what happens is Alex wins the competition, but it's kind of like Justin, the older brother, accidentally trips or something like that, and then she gets first place. But they offer him a teaching position at the magic school, so he gets to keep his magic as well.
Bullshit.
That feels like a cop out.
So wait, the younger brother's just fucked?
Yeah, he's just fucked.
What about the younger brother? He's just fucked up. He's just fucked. Doesn't get anything?
He just probably comes about because I assume if you like lose wizard powers like that, you would just become a fucking drug-addled alcoholic or some shit. Like you'd have to do something to fill the void after that, right?
Did you see how angry her father was and how disconnected he was?
Like,
that only happens when you're losing magic.
Like that's
The dad tries to make it
life.
better by he's like, "You'll get to run the sandwich shop," and then Justin's like, "Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
get
kill
to
myself.
you get to be." Is it? I forget what the little brother's name is. It's not Justin. He's the older one, but he was like really excited about it. So I guess
it's
you're
Max.
supposed to think he's
Max.
fine.
Max.
That's what it is.
Oh my god! Like no, his life is so shitty. He just fucking runs the sandwich shop while both of his
He's the
siblings
only
get
one who
to
doesn't
be
get to keep it.
wizards.
First of all, he got
He's
shit
the
on
only
for
one.
he got shit on for being the youngest his whole life.
Yeah.
Everything's about his narcissistic older sister and his perfect oldest brother. And then at the end of all of it, he just runs his fucking sandwich shop. Fuck you.
Oh my god!
There was also
poor kid.
a story arc where he was turned into a little girl, and the mom like liked the little girl version of him more than the regular version. It was kind of messed up.
And they turn him into a trash. He turns himself into a trash can in an episode, and nobody really seems
How
to
long was he a
consider.
little girl?
At least 2 or 3 episodes.
Jesus.
It was a while.
That's so weird. That's some weird shit, Disney.
Disney's
You
being
didn't need to
weird.
do that.
They're being sketch. I told you.
I feel like this show is probably one of the ones. Is this a Dan Schneider project? Because it gives me those vibes. It's not. Logan's shaking his head no.
It's not, no.
Damn. Oh yeah, he's more Nickelodeon, right? Am I getting my
Yeah.
creeps confused?
She said Nickelodeon.
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 Ultimately, the Shakira episode's trash. I know that's what we're reading to. It's
Iconic, you mean?
It's really fucked up and weird that an adult man is swooning young 13-year-old boys
No, it feels like a fever dream.
while pretending to be adult pop star Shakira.
And like his nephew like hits on him.
Yeah, hits on his own uncle.
Yeah.
And also implies that her dad jerks off to pictures of him. Literally, that's implied. That's not a joke. She said kissing your poster. That's so much implication to that. An adult man kissing a Shakira poster, he definitely jerks off on it. You know?
Yikes.
He has to. If he's kissing it, he's got to jerk off to
I
Shakira.
feel like he needs therapy after he finds out that
it's
his
weirder to
brother
kiss a
is-
picture of Shakira than to jerk
And then
off
the
to
episode
her.
it just ends weird. They're
Maybe
like all
he's just like
dancing.
undercut.
Wait, what did you say?
He's just
Cody?
like a nice coach. I was like, maybe he's just a man of tender touch. She just likes nice smooch. She doesn't need anything else.
No.
Oh my god.
Then it'd be with his wife that he doesn't talk to.
Well, maybe that's why she doesn't talk to him.
Yeah,
you know?
that might be it. She also isn't she also Demi Lovato's mom and something else? Is she just like typecast as
Camp
mother
Rock.
things?
Camp Rock.
Yeah, she's like Disney's like traditional Latina mother. That's all she's cast in.
Yeah.
That's a great side hustle, dude. Imagine
I'm not discounting it at all. It's great.
No, like imagine if you pinholed that market you're like I'm the straight white large male
For Disney.
For Disney. I'm the homeless guy typecast for Disney. I wouldn't even care. I'd be so excited to have that pocket. Because they don't work with new people often. They use like all the same actors for everything because they don't pay
There's
them
a Demi
shit.
Lovato and Selena Gomez movie, Princess Protection Program.
And it's because
wow.
they try to iconicize these actors so you'll follow everything they do and they can sell you endless merchandise.
And yes, I have.
Disney stars
I'm
were
always aware of what those two are doing. Like I don't even mean to be, but like I am.
Disney stars were like the beginner influencers because Disney was like pushing them as like an idea. Like you want to watch this movie because it's a Selena Gomez movie,
or like you buy like Selena Gomez merch, or like
they were like making them like early
fashion.
influencers.
Yeah.
Anything that had those people in it, and they would just make tons of shit with them in it and just keep pumping it out.
And they could really just give you trash with them in it, and we would buy it.
They'd love it, yeah. Camp Rock 2
100%.
is literally so unwatchable.
Especially if they were a triple threat, if they could act, sing, and dance. Disney was like, we're milking you.
Franny tried to get me to watch Camp Rock 2, and she hated it so much she made me turn it
But
off.
Camp Rock 1 is amazing.
Do you understand how much she like has like an affinity for this and like loves this because from her childhood? And she still's like, Camp Rock 2 sucks.
It
I
ends
agree
with
with that.
Camp
It's
Rock
bad.
1. That's all you need.
That's
There's
it.
a song
You
about
need
like,
Allison Stoner dancing on a keyboard. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's
there's
it.
a song about quesadillas, like microwave quesadillas, and you're just like, stop.
Is there?
There
I don't
is.
remember that.
There's literally a Nick Jonas song where he sings to her about his microwave quesadilla smells like feet.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Those are lyrics in a song they sold to people.
Yeah, it's a big yikes. Anyways, we can move on to Only Murders in the Building.
You guys ready to move on? Is there any other last revelations? Do you have anything to say about the Kelbo
I
thing?
just want to say, I don't want to comment on that, but I do want to say, I think this was actually Disney at its peak. Yes, there are definitely rough spots, and yes, it is definitely clouded for me by nostalgia.
Disagree.
But I think like this and Hannah Montana and Sunny with a Chance and then Jonas, was that what that show was called?
Oh my God, yes.
Like,
and Sunny with a Chance.
This
Oh my
was
God.
the height.
Yeah.
You're
this
wrong.
was the height of Disney.
Guys, the height of Disney was That's So Raven and shit like that. Like that was when
This
Disney
was all during that time.
No, it wasn't. That's So Raven's like the arc right before this, and like that
it
was the
right
good arc.
before, but it never hit the peak levels of like fame, success, and money for Disney.
Well, I
those
don't really
more
care.
shows
I guess you're right in
than
that sense.
That's
It
So
definitely
Raven.
was the most famous people came out of it. But my point is, we're talking about the best content. I think That's So Raven.
Best
is like,
content, hands down, is That's So Raven.
and,
I agree
and
with
there's
that.
other shows from that time too that are really good as well. Like Kim Possible is fucking great.
Yes,
Lilo and
American
Stitch, the
Dragon, Jake
show,
Long.
American Dragon, Jake Long. There's good content, but like right after that was the string of like, okay, there's all these shows about singing or wizards, and like those are the two things that these shows can be about, or like being an actor.
I feel like it all started from High School Musical.
Excuse you,
I
Shake It Up
actually
was
think
about
that was the
dancers.
start.
And was Shake It Up was the
Ew, that show
was
is
that
awful.
Zendaya and what's her face
And Bella Thorne, yes.
Bella Thorne, man.
Bella Thorne.
Those two could not be more separate if they tried.
Yeah.
Those bitches will not interact with each other.
Yeah, they've
They
distanced.
see each other. They turn opposite directions on the street.
Yeah.
They do not fuck with each
Zendaya
other.
does not want that on her image.
And I feel like Bella Thorne's just like, oh no, she's gonna get me to stop doing cocaine.
Yeah.
I need to turn around. Like I feel like they're so toxic towards each other.
Like Bella Thorne was fucking Tana Mojo for a minute.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
I think it's more fucked up what Bella Thorne did involving OnlyFans. You know,
Yeah.
lying to people. That was
Yeah.
It's just crazy that like Tana Mojo really like. I mean, we're on the internet and she's gross. Bad person.
bad person.
Bad person. Bad people.
So much more successful than us.
I'm scared to talk about drama. We need to move on to the next part. All right, guys, we're gonna pause and give you some give you a second before we talk about Only Murders in the Building.
Hey, looking for more content? Check out Crosscut Cinema, where me, Franny, and my friends review movies. Or check out a pilot podcast where we review TV pilots with recording artist CL Blue. Or hey, check out me hanging out with my friends on Average Joe Interviews. Socials and links are in the bio. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, it's CL. I just wanted to come on and say that I have a brand new album. It's coming out on October 22nd, and if you're hearing this, that means it's out now. It's called Scorpio. I'm super excited about it. It's something very different, very experimental for me. It's entirely just based on stories that I've written or real life experiences or people that I know, and I really hope you guys like it. It has songs Big Night In on it, and also my brand new song Scorpio, which I'm really excited about. If you are interested, you can listen to it on all streaming platforms. Wherever you get your music at, you can find it there. Thanks so much.
Scorpio, now you did it again. Playing with hearts won't make you friends.
We're not on mute, right?
No.
Okay.
What is wrong with you? I said we're ready. You think we're going to start the podcast on mute?
I'd be stressing. How's everybody doing? Logan, what are you looking for?
Fucking water there.
Oh, there it is.
I couldn't find it. I was like, where'd it go?
We're going to talk about Only Murders in the Building now. Selena Gomez's newest show.
Yeah, and also Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah. About podcasting, kind of. But we'll get
Cody,
into
the
that.
wiki.
What?
The wiki? The wiki?
The
one
wiki?
you read?
Oh, I didn't even know we were recording. You got cut out, so I didn't even hear it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense why Cody wasn't talking now.
Yeah, okay, like, the audience is going to be like, why are they being so weird, and why is Cody being so cold to them right now?
But no, just technical difficulties, I guess.
Guys, you know.
He doesn't actually hate us.
We're trying to not see people too much, you know, COVID, whatnot.
Yeah.
We're trying to record remotely sometimes, so.
Sometimes there's little hiccups. Sometimes there's a few
So the
goofs.
Wikipedia.
Want to hit us with that
Only
wiki feet?
Yeah, Only Murders in the Building is an American mystery comedy streaming television series created by Steve Martin and John Hoffman. The first season premiered on Hulu in August of 2021.
Watching
It follows
Hulu.
three strangers. God damn it. It follows three strangers played by Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, who share an obsession with a true crime podcast. After a murder in their affluent Upper West Side apartment building, the Arconia, the three neighbors decide to start their own program covering their investigation on the murder. Woo!
Yeah, so it's very much like it's a like a fun little whodunit who even though it has like curse words and stuff in it, it's not like overtly grotesque or violent.
Yeah, it
It's
feels
very
like
it's kind of innocent.
you
in
can
a
watch it
way.
with your
Family friendly.
parents. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ish.
it's like a little dark. They drop a couple F-bombs in here, but it's not like too gory or anything. It's a lot of it's built on suspense.
Agreed.
And it's got a lot of really interesting cinematography, as well as like I love the intro and its music. There's a lot of like artistic decisions you get right from the pilot episode, like just from watching like all of them walking around the street of New York. Basically, you're being introduced to these characters for the first time, and then it cuts to the intro, which has like this nice little glossy, almost like Boxcar Kids, you know, or whatever, Boxcar Boys. I don't know what the fuck.
Which
they're
I
called.
love. I love
Like
this.
style, and then it's got the great music with it. Has a great music on this show. It is really interesting and cool and like campy and mystical as fuck. Like there's so much mystery. Like it does ooze that like. But was it, you know, the weird guy with the cat? Like it's very much like a whodunit in like every way. So that
I
part
love
I really
it
love
so
about
much.
it. Fran, what did you
I
think about
love
the
it.
pilot?
I thought it was fun. I like how stylistic it is. I like how it like flipped narrators between like the three of them to kind of introduce their characters. I thought that was really cool. And I also just like how it's about podcasting. That's dope. That's a first.
They said
right?
there's like a random moment where you realize there's like three people in a cafe in New York listening to your podcast. And It's
Yeah.
like, guys, if you're in New York in a cafe right now, leave that in the comments.
Right? It's
That'll
it's
blow
just
my
crazy.
fucking mind.
And like it's so cool that it's about like how podcasting and like stuff like this like connects people that wouldn't normally talk or get along, because like Selena Gomez is like a 20 something and they're all like 50, 60,
They're
like
in their 70s, like
yeah,
almost,
like they're
almost,
old.
Like I think Steve Martin's in like his 70s and Martin
Wow.
Short's in his 60s.
yeah, and she's like 30ish,
Mm-hmm.
and they just all end up getting along like because they like the same podcast. They notice that each other are listening to it.
And yeah, like I'm trying not to. I don't remember exactly what was in the pilot. I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. Cody, do you have a pretty good grasp on the pilot still? Is there anything like we're missing element wise?
Yeah, so it follows the idea of like they're all in the same elevator and they notice this guy get on and he has a trash bag and his name's Tim Kono, I think. And he gets off after an argument and then there's a fire alarm set off, and when they come back after a dinner and like bonding over the idea that they love this podcast and they had been missing this podcast because of the fire drill, they discover that there had been a murder in the building, and they all kind of bond over the idea of trying to figure out how like it's kind of fishy that he would kill himself when they had just seen him 12, 15 minutes earlier and he was completely fine.
Yeah, I mean it's, and I like the scene where they're talking to like the cop on scene, and she's just like, are you guys fucking true crime fanatics?
Yeah.
Like getting all pissed already.
Yeah, because they start out asking her like,
That
"Are you
feels
sure it's a
topical.
suicide?" Blah, blah blah. That is like something that actually happens a
Yeah.
lot, and there is a lot to say too about like how I feel about like true crime podcasts on the reg. Like, I don't know, it's a complicated subject. I think when they start going to places and investigating like legitimately, then I have a weird feeling about it. But you know, this is cute though.
Yeah, this is
isn't
cute.
this
is
isn't
fine.
like anything like super like exploitative. But that's the point that the cop is pissed about. And I think that's an interesting
I
angle
agree.
to go at with just like the culture around the podcasting and everything. Like it's a part of the show.
Yeah.
I think I have the same problem that the cop does, where I enjoy things like this where it's fictional, but I do sort of have a problem with crime taking advantage of the families and the actual victim of real life situations and talking about it. But I do get the appeal. And so I find content like this super interesting because you're looking at it from the perspective of people who are trying to broach this delicately, especially since like it was someone who lived in the building and they kind of knew this person. So they're trying to be as delicate as possible while also telling a story.
It gives like another personal layer, I feel.
And it
that a lot
also
of true
with
crime
them
doesn't.
all being, I know that they keep talking about murders in the building, but the Arconia in itself is like a character.
Agreed.
Because especially as the show goes on, we won't get into spoilers, but that is something that's inherent even in the plot, because everything takes place at the Arconia, and the prime suspects are the people who live there.
And it feels like its own little town almost.
Yeah, it's like its own little community in New York, you know?
It definitely feels like Clue, the board game, and I kind of love that
yeah,
about it.
definitely. And the way the place is kind of laid out too feels like a board game.
I was reading about this, and there's a complex, apartment complex across the street from Strawberry Fields in New York. And apparently it's very similar to this, where it's a lot of like richer upper crust people all living in like this one complex and all hanging out with each other.
That's so funny.
Oh.
So just a little piece of info there. Hello?
I love that.
Franny got up to turn on the heater because she's a terrible person.
I'm
Did she?
cold.
I was just like, whoa, that one.
No, I just turned on the space heater.
I love the Brazos character. I think that he's like super funny and like actually like I feel like he has the most interesting like intro to the show. You know, like I don't want to get into like the details of
Martin.
long. That's
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
Yeah.
I think that character is just really delightful in this first episode because he's such a pessimist, but you also just see him getting excited about this shit. Even though he's like the person who's like, yeah, we can't really go do that, and then like the opportunity presents itself, and he's the one who will take a leap. And I think that character is really interesting and fun to watch.
There's a character that is Logan, and I want to see.
Oh my God! No,
Cody
shut
knew
up!
exactly
Don't
which
don't.
one
I don't
that
want.
was.
I don't want the podcasters to know how obsessed I truly am.
Yeah, and it's not Steve Martin's character. I'll tell you that, and it's not Selena Gomez's character. I'll tell you that.
No, it's not.
Logan is definitely the Martin Short of this podcast.
I want to make a great podcast.
Good. It's good.
I know it's just
good.
adorable.
You got vision.
There's like moments where
wish
he
the
like
best.
where he was like
But the best thing is
that we were
like,
watching.
and when we go to fan cast, we all fit into our picks perfectly because Cody is Selena Gomez because he is vague as fuck all the time, and it's so annoying. So he's totally Selena Gomez in this, and Franny's totally Steve Martin, like pretending
Kind of an irritable old man, you know,
pretending to hate things but secretly like loving the company.
Mm-hmm. An irritable old man.
Yeah.
That's
we never
me.
did this. We didn't do it for Wizards of Waverly Place. So compared to the 3 siblings in Wizards and then the 3 here, who are we?
Oh my God, that's pretty good.
I'd say I'm probably the Justin guy, right?
Yeah, but in this, you're definitely.
In this, I'm 100% Martin Short because
Yeah.
these ones are way more accurate. Because these ones are real people.
Yeah. Yeah, those characters aren't real people in Wizards, so I cannot do this.
They're really
I'd
not.
say maybe Max.
I was gonna say I'm probably Selena both ways.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're not just like a selfish dude.
I'm Uncle Kelbo.
And like
Sometimes.
No, not like it's not like Selena Gomez's character.
She's just like
Waverly
such
Place.
a caricature.
She's like nothing. She's like pure chaos. And then she's like, "Why are people mad at me? I'm only terrible to everyone."
It's nice that like she does. You see, she can actually act in this one. I feel like the performance
that's a stretch.
is all right.
I don't want to go into her
Oh God!
performance right
All
now.
right, we won't.
I have feelings about her performance for real.
So then, should we go into spoilers?
Let's get all of our thoughts about the pilot. Franny, is there anything else you want to add about the pilot?
No,
Okay,
I mean
tell us,
it hooked me. It got me to watch a second episode. I watched 2 episodes. Spoiler alert: Logan and Cody both finished it. But yeah, I mean, it hooked me for a second. I kind of lost interest. I'd say it's funny. Like the Disney influencing still worked. Like I knew about this show strictly because Selena Gomez was on it.
That's why a lot of people knew about it.
Yeah.
The branding is so intense.
It's still there. She still got it.
There's people who are watching that fucking Demi Lovato alien show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Solely because they were once Sunny with a chance.
Yeah. No,
I
that's not her.
actually did watch it, but that's
wait,
a
that is
different
her.
time.
Wait, really? You watched it?
I did watch it.
What'd you think about it? What was it like?
It's very I don't want to say like batshit crazy, but like I hate to belittle people's experiences. However, it was kind of hard for me to look at them and be like, okay, you're a normal person. Okay, sure. But they were great, I guess. Sure. I don't know. I don't want to bag on this show. I'm sorry. I want to, but I can't.
You liked it. When we were watching this, I was like, we were both like, this is exactly the kind of content Cody would like.
Yeah, this
it's like
show.
kind of
No,
spooky,
I was
but
talking
like,
about, but not the Demi Lovato thing, but
no,
this.
this.
We're talking about the
This-
Demi Lovato show, yeah.
This, the only Murders in the Building, I knew Cody would love this.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this.
Anyway,
Loved
so
it.
yeah, let's review the pilot real fast. I think the pilot is like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say that. I think I agree exactly with you at an 8 out of 10.
Slightly
I
above,
agree. 8 around.
Yeah,
slightly above, like pretty good. Like it's definitely
Yeah.
elevated. I think it's like notably good.
it's artistic. It's cute. Like
Mhm.
it's about what we do, which is fun.
Yeah.
And I like the message within it. I like what it's leading up to, and I like I like how stylized it is. It actually feels like New York. This is a time with Selena Gomez that feels like she's in New York.
It's like, wow, Selena went
It
to New York
does.
finally.
Yeah.
She's not in
Love it.
Gardenville, Washington or whatever.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So, spoilers? Question mark?
I mean, I'm ready to talk spoilers.
Yeah, let me just go get a water real fast, guys.
All right, pause.
Okay.
Every breath you take, every move you make.
I'm excited to hear about the show because I didn't
Franny,
watch.
spoiler time. Sting from The Police was the suspect in this show.
Wow,
Ooh.
really?
Yep.
Bad. That was bad.
Yeah, that's odd. That's an odd
And it
choice.
wrapped real quick. It was real weird.
Why?
Also, a hard opinion. Tina Fey is a MILF in this. MILF in this.
I concur on this. I loved that Tina Fey is like this big named podcaster and they're all a fan of her, and then she shows up and she's like, oh, no big deal, I just made $30 million, whatever.
She's in this?
Yeah, and she also at one
Yes.
point trashes them on Jimmy Fallon.
What?
And
Yeah.
that's how they get kind of famous. It's
Yeah, they
great.
get famous because, you know what? That's so. Are we getting ahead of ourselves here in the spoilers?
No, it's a spoiler. Let's do it.
Okay, so the podcast because of so anyway, the Martin Short character. You remember how he's like super poor? Okay, so he
Yeah.
used to put on like Broadway productions and stuff,
Yeah.
and then I Can Hear You Rustle.
Okay, I
You
won't do
can't
that
hold
then.
a microphone. Why do you think we have? Do you think I would spend money on microphone stands if you didn't need them? This is not fucking karaoke, bitch. Put the microphone back in the fucking stand. You should have seen this bitch. She picked it up like she was on Channel 5 News or something.
She wanted in on every breath you take. It's okay.
Yep.
Is-
I was ready to take my lead.
She was getting ready for her David Bowie moment. And she was literally grabbing
She's
the
like,
microphone out of the
"Don't
hills.
stand so."
Yeah, that was ridiculous. What was I even saying before that? That threw me off so bad.
So they're recording a podcast and
yeah,
they
yeah.
are only getting like 17 viewers or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. And so Martin Short's character, you know how he used to put on Broadway shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he used to ask for money, and one of the guys he asked for money from, he lost him a lot of money and like ruined his whole career on this like one show about swimming, and it's not good. And so the Martin Short character comes back to that guy he lost a bunch of money for, and that guy also lives in the Arconia, and he sponsors the podcast after like Martin Short basically proves that he's like dedicated to having this podcast be amazing.
Yeah.
And so the guy sponsors it, and it's like Eli's Subway Sandwiches Presents or some shit like that. Like, what was the name of the sandwich
Dino's,
shop?
I think is what it's called.
Dino's Sandwiches Presents Only Murders in the Building.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And so Tina Fey's character, who's like this big time podcaster, was making fun of Brazo, Steve Martin's character, for having a podcast with this name on TV. And Jimmy Fallon was just like dunking on him essentially on TV. And then that's how the podcast got popular.
That's amazing. That's really cool. That's kind of realistic
And they were-
too.
Oh, and by the way,
Kind of, yeah.
By the way, the guy who was, I'm going to say this part now because I feel like it's going to be really shocking and upsetting to Franny. The guy who was sponsoring the podcast with the sandwiches, he's responsible for part of the murders that went down.
What? That's fucked up.
And you know what annoys me the most about this podcast, like Cody, as much as I do like parts of it, that
Tell me.
in no way, the thing with a whodunit is you have to conceptually have you have to have a possible hypothesis that could turn out to be true just based on the beginning episode. That's the best shows. People who at entry level are already on an even playing field with people who have been watching for weeks.
Yeah.
This is the idea, is the fact that like the whodunit strikes and there's all these different suspects, and then you narrow it down, and people who you think are definitely it aren't it, and they do like they subvert your expectations, but you're supposed to have an idea or be presented with the answer to the riddle in the beginning, and you're not in this.
Really?
Neither character who are responsible for any deaths are introduced until like episode 3.
That's odd.
Yep.
That's kind of bullshit, right, Cody?
Yeah.
Like
I agree. However, I will say I guessed it immediately as soon as that character showed up. So there's a girl played by Amy Ryan who was Holly on The Office. You might know her as that. She's a bassoon player. She's one of the neighbors, and she flirts and gets it on and has a relationship with Steve Martin's character, Brazos. But there's a scene in episode 3 where they're going through Tim Konos's stuff, and they find a bunch of sex toys because apparently he's some real kinky stuff going on that they talk about later, which I don't know if it's relevant, but
It's weird that this isn't
do what?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I picked up the fact that it was her because when they were going through the sex toys, it was a bassoon cleaner. And as someone who was in marching band, I was like, huh,
That's
okay,
so
there's
funny.
a bassoon cleaner. Okay, so it's her. And I was right.
Did they
Except all of the stuff with Dinos is weird and convoluted.
Yeah,
so,
and the other thing too is like there's a lot of weird things in this show that like don't need to be there. Like the Brazos character using dialogue from the show, and then it turns out that that's just something he actually wrote.
Yeah.
Why is that in there?
Repeated word for word to Selena Gomez.
And
So
also,
weird.
like, Selena Gomez's, like, frustration with them following her was the most annoying thing ever. When she lied and knew, like, who, Tim Kono was. Like, what a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Yeah.
And then, like, for me to feel bad for her character because her mom's controlling after all that isn't good enough for me. Like, she lied to her friends, point blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I kind of hated the fact that she, is it episode 2 or 3, she starts recording her own personal diaries that's like, in case I'm next, and then it's never touched upon again. And it was like, well, what was that for?
They didn't touch upon that. I felt like
Never.
she was gonna like release that as another podcast.
No, it was just a bad misdirect. Also, they have
Weird.
Warner characters in this Disney property. I mean, it's not a Disney property, but it is because it's Hulu. But they have like the Looney Tunes characters like in an episode, and it's really weird. I'm not fucking with her, am I, Cody?
The Looney
like,
Tunes?
Were the
No.
Looney Tunes in the
It's
show or not?
Bugs Bunny and
What?
was it Pep? Is it the
Why?
pig or is it Daffy Duck? I can't remember.
It was the
It
pig.
has something to do with, yes, it's the pig.
but
it
it's
has something
not
to do with
Bugs
Steve
Bunny.
Martin's
It's somebody-
background.
It's somebody else.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's Steve Martin's background. But they're there. They're in the hallway at the Arconia.
Maybe it was Tweety Bird. I don't know.
Is it like animated?
No, they're in costumes.
No, they're in costumes. They're like mascots.
That's ridiculous.
know, I
that's-
know,
like, why?
right?
Like why?
And the reason
His
they
whole
explain for
backstory is
it,
weird.
and the thing is, they teed up this idea of these guys like following him everywhere, and they didn't make that reveal till midway through the episode. For like a portion of the episode, I'm seeing fully costumed Looney Tune characters in the hallways, and it's
That's
supposed to be
odd.
suspenseful.
And it's supposed to be suspenseful.
Isn't it kind of? Doesn't it
And-
kind of come off that way?
Yes, and then they never bring it up again after you realize like why, which is it has something to do with the fact that he fell in love with a woman who had a daughter, and that he set up a birthday party, and then the mother took the daughter away from him,
So he married
and
this
then it's
woman.
never brought up again.
He married this woman, and this woman was jealous of how much affection he like showed her daughter, essentially. Because
Gross.
no, not like that. It was like he like wanted them to be like a family. Like for their wedding anniversary, he planned a family vacation, and like she didn't like that, so she left him on the family vacation alone on a cruise for 5 days,
That's fucked
Yep.
up.
and took the
And
girl
now
with.
these mascots haunt him because they were at the birthday party he set up for her daughter. It's
That's-
weird. It's super
yeah.
weird.
And he does all this, and he like comes and like she's really weird at their first date. Like the bassoon player, she's like sharing all this personal information. Then she's like, "You have to share," and it's like, "No, he doesn't, bitch. Like he didn't ask you about any of that." You
She
open-
verbatim says it's transactional, and I got triggered so hard because I was like, only psychopaths think that way.
Yeah, like you don't have to. If you don't want to say anything personal about yourself on a first date, that doesn't mean that you're a
Yeah.
fucking weirdo or a bad person. It means that you just met this bitch and she seems
Yeah.
crazy. And also
Literally
maybe
pulling
shit's
back
a little deep seated, you know? Maybe it's not something easy to talk about.
Yeah.
So
that-
I got bad vibes from her right then and there. Are you really? Did he really just touch the roadcaster?
yeah,
For
he
real?
did.
Dwight down. Get out of here, you little fucking motherfucker. Get out of
He
here.
unmuted a mic. Absolutely not,
It was-
sir.
He was trying to get on the mic.
Oh, buddy, he has opinions.
He's like, I love Steve Martin and Only Murders in the Building. I
He's like,
miss
I'm a
Cheaper
big
by the
fan of
Dozen.
Cheaper
What?
Dozen.
It's because he has to take a poopy. But he can fucking wait. He's ridiculous. He came up and tapped on the roadcaster. Ridiculous.
Well, so I like how we're kind of bashing on the show, but I did really enjoy it. I did really like it. I like
my point with it is that it's great aesthetically. I just feel like the thing is, it delivered me aesthetic and gloss and like likable characters. It forgot to do the most important part though, which is a good mystery.
Yeah, I think that's weird that like it wasn't solvable from the beginning. Like that's a really good point.
Not solvable, but guessable.
Yeah.
Or conceivable. Like no one in the first episode is responsible.
Like why is Sting like a thing?
Sting, they think that Sting poisons Martin's character's dog.
What?
Yeah, because Sting doesn't like dogs. He meets Martin Short in an elevator and he has a dog.
He lives in the building, yeah.
Dog. Yes, he does.
Every person that's like considered a suspect lives in the building. Except for this one Oscar character. But he's terrible. The tie-dye shirt guy, he's horrible. I hate him.
Yeah.
And like, what's great though is they don't focus on him that much. And it really is a lot more charming when it's those three main characters actually trying to solve the murder. Because I just think like Martin Short's character, like having like a drama line is like super iconic and campy and really funny. And totally works for the vibe of the show. And like that, they just didn't do enough of that stuff, I think. They should have done more of that, less of Oscar.
Yeah. I kind of wish they had focused more on the actual production of the podcast, because I thought that was really funny. They'd have Steve Martin reread lines and be
I
like,
thought that was
oh
fun.
shit, I didn't nail it.
When he's playing on the harpsichord and stuff, and
which really, I kind of liked. I didn't know why they were bashing on him so bad.
I thought it was campy and awesome. But then again, we enter our podcast with funk music.
Yeah.
So
I really liked the second episode. I know I only watched that, but like I liked the stairs stuff with the
stairs was cool.
Like with the song.
Do you remember when he was like, when they had that theatrical scene where he's like jumping up and down that set of stairs?
Super cool.
Loved that.
Yeah, like this show was really pretty. It's like a high quality show.
Yeah, it really does feel like they were like, well, we'll make it creative as hell.
Yeah, you can tell they spent way more money than Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah, of course, definitely. But aside from just that, you know, there were just better, more artistic decisions, shots, angles, characters. I loved the plant podcast guy. Shout out to Louie. What up?
That's so funny. Right after we released our plant episode, we talked about this.
Yeah, we see that there's and like that is how it be though. Well, like people will like. I remember, I don't want to trash on anybody, but I spoke to somebody who was an actor in a movie, and they were like, "Yeah, you know, like I'm pretty big deal. I got like 30 likes on this post," and I'm just like, "Well, my podcast get like 1,000 views, but that's cool. I appreciate that." And that's how the plant people were. Where it's like, you'll find your way. And they're like, "Yeah, we got 60,000 subscribers," and it's just that's exactly how it be though. It really is like the most random podcast that actually hit.
I love it though. I love it. I really did enjoy the casting, and there's an episode that sticks out especially for me in which they follow Dino Sandwich Guy. His son is a deaf child.
Oh, and like the whole episode's basically silent.
And the whole episode is silent.
That's
besides
cool.
some muffles from what he can actually hear, and that's so cool.
Yeah, I like that episode, and let me just say though, this is a hard show to binge because of that episode though, because you have you have to pay full attention to that episode, never look away, never look at your phone, because nothing is happening audibly. Everything's happening in sign language and physical. And
I bet a lot of people like missed a lot of what that episode was.
And then the reason why that one friend of hers went to prison, the Oscar guy, is because they think that he's the one that threw his girlfriend off the building. It was actually the deaf son of the sandwich guy who was like obsessed with her, and they got in like to a pushing fight, and he pushed her off the building. So
there's another murder in the building.
Yeah, that happened a year prior.
When do they find out that like she has a Tim Kono connection?
Like episode 6 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's halfway through, and I think it's the same episode because they kind of connect everything with jewelry, and the sandwich guy's running a secret underground jewelry ring.
The episode before the one with the deaf.
Oh yeah,
it's
you're
the
right.
episode, but he is introduced in that episode for like half a second.
Yeah, but the sandwich guy is basically like stealing jewels off of dead people, and like they're throwing away the corpses and taking the jewels and reselling them on the black market.
That's ridiculous.
And they keep them in urns.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's some rich people shit.
And he has a secret cabinet he goes to, like an escape room where all that shit is.
Jesus.
But yeah, when
I love how it lays into the camp though.
her friend was flirting with the deaf kid when they would break into the apartments, and he was hiding in the secret compartment, she saw him, and she's basically like, wow, I bet you have a huge penis. Anyway, goodbye. Whatever the fuck she said. It was pretty blatant. She was like, I think you're fucking hot or some shit.
Oh yeah.
And then she rejected him on the roof because he brought her a ring. Because he's weird.
He goes, I'll buy you a real ring one day. And she goes, I'm pitying you. You can't buy me a ring. And I was like, okay, bitch, you deserve to get pushed off.
So
Sorry.
literally, they just met in an elevator. She called him hot, and he
No. He broke so the character Selena Gomez's character,
Hardy Boys.
it had a Hardy Boys thing where they had the keys to the Arconia, and they would go room to room, and they went into that guy's room one time, and the deaf son hid in the secret compartment, and she saw him through a crack in the wall, and was
Selena
I
did?
think not Selena, her friend,
Okay.
the one he got pushed off the top of the
yeah,
building,
yeah.
and she was like, I think you got a nice wiener, and he's like, well, ain't that something? And he followed
And
her
he
up to
heard
the
her?
ceiling. Yeah, he read her lips.
Oh, okay.
And the podcast kind of,
Oh,
after he pushes her off,
Did she sign to him a little bit?
she knows sign language, and she signs to him like she thinks he's actually hot and that they should talk some more sometime.
Wow.
And then she throws a fit when he's like, I'll buy you a ring. And she's like, I'm pitying you. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, that
she's
is
messed up as
yikes that he
character.
wanted to buy her a ring right away.
100%. No, I do not blame her at all.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that they try to draw sympathy for him for us, and I'm like,
no, that's yikes. She did not
They're
consent.
both cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
no,
sounds
her
intense.
response to that's super cringe, but it's also super. You can't judge somebody because they're caught off guard because someone just offered them an engagement ring essentially when they don't even know
Well,
them.
she stole one of the rings, and she was like, yeah, you're going to let me keep it, right?
That's different
So
though.
I think, I don't know, because it's kind of blurry. You can't really tell whether they see each other a lot in passing or if it's just
That's true.
once or twice they noticed each other. So I think that's why I kind of took it a little less cringe on his side, because I guess I was thinking of it from the perspective of, oh, they mutually know
That's
that
fair.
they like each other, and they're just kind of always passing each other.
I never got that vibe, but maybe I read the episode wrong. I did watch all of this back to back to back, so there is that.
I don't know.
But I liked
But
it as an episode,
basically-
though. It was a good episode. They get kidnapped by the son, Selena Gomez, and
Yeah.
Martin Short's character, and I don't know, I guess he's going to kill him or something. He has him all tied up in the back.
Whoa.
Because the person who noticed him push the girl off was Tim
Tim
Kono.
Kono. And they think that he
And
killed
so-
Tim Kono. But he
Shit.
didn't kill
And
Tim
then-
Kono.
Who killed Tim Kono?
The bassoonist who was fucking him.
Oh,
Amy
She
Ryan.
poisoned him and then she shot him.
And then she tried to gas up the entire Arconia.
is that who the ring was for? Was he gonna propose to her? The one that was the ring that was in his bag, or the package he had to get. What
So
was
that
about?
was that ring was recovered by Tim Kono. He had bought it from someone.
He was trying to take
Because
down this
he was
black
trying to-
market.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because he saw them murder somebody too, so he's trying to
Wow, so
take
he
them
is
down.
all in all a good guy, right?
He's good in
Kind
some
of,
ways. He's one of those guys that he'd be a suitable stepdad. He's not too warm, but he's overall a good guy. He's not warm
And he
or
treats your
anything, or a
mama
nice guy,
right in
though.
the bedroom. That's
Yeah.
all we know.
Yeah. Oh my God, I know.
Goddamn, Tim.
They made a big point that Tim's got a huge dick, pretty much, a few times. What's the problem?
Because
Do you think Dwight shit in here or
he's-
something? No, I'm just watching him. He's right next to you, dude.
Oh,
Franny's looking all over the room for this dog that's sitting right next to her.
I'm a dummy. He be hiding. He camouflages into the carpet.
We don't have a carpet.
It's a rug.
The rug is red.
He's brown. It's close. It's the same family.
What do you think, Cody?
I
She
think
was trying to say
that,
the brown floor, but she actually said carpet.
I think she just meant to say floor, but it's okay. She's got Minecraft, right?
Yeah, exactly.
See, she's fine.
But yeah, and then the big reveal where you find out that this bassoonist is a bit of a liar is Steve Martin goes to her show and she's supposed to be the first chair bassoonist.
Yeah.
And he gets there and she's second chair and she'd been lying to him. She had lost her seat.
Mm.
And so he leaves the concert because that's a little awkward. And then he gets to her place and he thinks he outsmarts her poisoning him, and then she poisons him anyway.
With a handkerchief instead of a glass.
Yep. And this is the second show. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't say that. Never mind. That's a spoiler for a different show, so I'm going to leave that alone.
Damn.
You know what I almost was going for, right? You don't? We'll
No.
talk about it later.
think so.
Okay. You might have to draw. Maybe I'm mixing the connection because I didn't see past the second episode.
Just this
and I'm more
episode, it's like she's like trying all these different ways to poison him.
Oh.
And it's like it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And then the poisoning episode is so funny. I think it's like the last or second to last. I think it's actually the last. But like
think it's the last one,
he
yeah.
thinks he's having all these like intense dialogues to her, like, and I stand with my friends, and then the reality is like,
Oh, God.
They actually did that fucking lame Nickelodeon ass joke.
Really?
They really did.
There's a great thing
That's
where
a
he's
little
trying to
lazy.
like get his. He's trying to like escape his apartment and get out, but he's like on the floor. He's been drugged. He can't function,
yeah.
and they're all like,
And then-
"Oh, he's just drunk. It's fine."
And then he's in the elevator and he's like literally on the ground, like the Wolf of Wall Street scene, trying to get out. And then this guy comes in the elevator and he recognizes him. He's, "Oh, you're drunk. Don't worry, I won't let anybody see you like this." And he takes him back up to his apartment. Do you remember that?
And they keep missing Martin Short and Selena Gomez in the other elevator because they keep going to the opposite place. Ugh, so good.
It's so funny.
Jesus. Oh.
Oh,
That's
and the
so
cop
stressful.
character you loved comes back into the story. Her fiance,
She's great.
or her wife. I think it's her wife. Her wife listens to the podcast and then at one point puts it on and it's like, "That's my fucking case." And then she finds out it's like still open and she works with them.
That's nice. That's
It's-
cool that she works with them and like.
But she like can't go straight to the police. She like openly
Yeah.
admits that it's corrupt and they'll have her job over it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it sucks that that's the case, but it's also a good thing that that's the case. That like they can't really listen to that kind of shit.
But my thing is, why did the police purposely avoid the toxicology report when it was the bassoonist?
I don't know.
You know why? Because that's called a plot hole.
Agreed. Unless it's something to be revealed in season 2.
Which, by the
so
way,
there's going to be a season 2.
Yeah, only murderers in the building. Apparently, is what it's going to be called.
Is there like?
So, do you
Was
want to
there,
say
like,
what
a
happens at the end of
cliffhanger?
the episode?
There's a cliffhanger.
Definitely. And you've already seen it before, Franny.
Oh,
It's in the first episode. It's the opening of the first episode.
But you forget about it because so much time passes.
what is it?
Selena Gomez kills a guy in a tie-dye hoodie with a sewing needle. And it's her friend Oscar, right? Accidentally snuck up on her or some shit.
It's actually the manager of the building. It's a lady, and she's wearing their merch.
Oh, that's right.
And
It's the
she
lady who owns the
sneaks up
building.
on her.
I remember
Yeah.
that now. It's the lady who owns the building.
And she like accidentally kills her.
yeah, because the whole
Accidentally
episode,
kills her.
Selena Gomez, like a couple of episodes before, she's like jumpy because one of her friends got murdered. So she carries around these sewing needles with her, and she almost stabs her friend Oscar because he's like sneaking up behind her. And then she kills this person. So then they're all like getting arrested because they were found with this dead body and she's covered in blood. And then they talk to the Tina Fey podcast lady and they're like, "Call the next season Only Murderers in the Building." And then Tina Fey's like, "Shut up, that was my idea."
Oh my god.
The
And so-
episode ends literally with her like berating her assistant, like, "That is mine."
I'm excited that they're doing a season 2. It makes me kind of want to, even
I'm
though I
not.
know the spoiler. Wait, I can't decide if like
I just think
what-
that there was a
what you
couple of
told me
issues.
makes me want to see it or not.
There's a couple of issues. I think the Sting plot point is tough. Feels like it's only there for them to get in contact with the lady with all the podcasts. But they could have done that through expanding on the plant bros that they ran into. And I would have preferred more plot with them because they were better characters.
Agreed.
I didn't like Sting in this. I think it like lost its reality, and he's a pretty terrible actor.
Yeah, that's
It
an
was
odd
cringy.
choice. Like, why?
And all the jokes they made about it being Sting like weren't funny enough. Like the "Every Breath You Take" joke was probably the only thing that was like kind of funny. It's like, he's not weird. He just wrote a song. He just wrote the Stalker anthem. You know, like that is kind of true, but
That was a good one. It is a good one.
everything else is just it doesn't make it worth it being a plot point.
Yeah.
The whole episode where he's revealed as a suspect and it ends with him on a stage alone singing "Don't Stand So Close to Me."
Yeah.
that was a little sketch for me. I was like, okay.
Maybe next season they'll do the guy from Oingo Boingo, the fucking Nightmare Before Christmas guy, and they'll just keep picking pop rock bands from the 70s and 80s to be the suspects.
I mean, I might be down.
They could have a seance and get the black guy from Thin Lizzy to be like a ghost in the building, you know?
So she literally murdered this guy, and like now that's what next season is going to be about.
She murdered
this girl.
Yeah, and she's going to jail.
That's insane that they're going to make another season.
It's like, what's the mystery?
Yeah,
she was jumpy.
That's really fucked up too. That like she murdered somebody because she was jumpy and irresponsible.
Well, we're just assuming that all she said is that she didn't mean to, or some shit, or it's not what it looks like. Isn't that what she said?
It's not what it looks like. So I don't know.
I feel like it's something. I feel like it has something to do with her aunt. Her aunt's so secretive, and they're keeping it so vague. But her aunt is definitely an issue. Her aunt's going to become a character, and I won't care.
I'm excited to see where they take it. I think the show itself, they do the art, they do the apartment and the set design so well. I think I would watch another season just for the aesthetics. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's next.
It's cute, and I really think it's artistically interesting. I'd really like to make a super cut. Like, just cut out all the parts about the story and just keep the aesthetic, wacky things in. I think that could be enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of cool shit in it.
Just like rework it a little.
Like even the scene where he's like pitching to the guy and he's like, you voted on me because I pretended like I was confident even though I didn't know what was going on. He's like, I'm not confident, but I do know that this is the best project I've ever made. And it was like, damn, like that was intense. It was pretty insane. Those moments are good. And then there's other moments, you know, that aren't that good. That maybe they were trying to pull for comedy, or maybe it was just like they had to stick within certain parameters to still get like the twist ending that they wanted. But the bassoon character was obvious. And then the money character was kind of forced upon us. Like it felt like it didn't even fit into the lifeblood of what the show had been up to that point, because we had like 2 full episodes without him even being acknowledged. So like you thought maybe it's this guy cat in his apartment, and then they like pull the dead cat out of the freezer, and it's a whole thing. It's very weird.
I don't like a dead.
They poison a dog, and then the episode ends.
That's fucked up.
He lives though.
That was awful.
That was harsh, right? Like I didn't want it to end like that. I had my dog on my lap, dude.
I agree.
Also, like I don't want to worry about the financial struggles of like a rich like Broadway director. Like I don't care about his financial struggles to be real. Like, you know what I mean? And that was a big part of the show, and I just didn't care.
Yeah, like I'm not worried about him maintaining his lifestyle. Like he can go get a job. It's a lot.
Yeah.
The costume design is really good in this. Everything he wears was iconic.
Yeah, everything's like jewel tones. It's almost noir. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's like very innocent too. Like even though things feel noir, they feel very much like a kid-friendly noir. Like it's never like the grit of staring down the barrel of a gun or the splash of blood. Like it's never like that in the whole show.
I love it. I love it so much.
I know, it's literally like suspense content made for Cody.
It's suspense content made for Disney adults.
Yeah.
Or Pokemon adults. They're basically the same.
So, yeah, I'd say watch it. I liked it.
Like, Cody, imagine how good this would be if they had bee drills.
Ooh, imagine how good it would be if there were bees in the world and we made honey. Guys, save the bees.
Yeah, I called my grandpa today, and all he wanted to talk about is how climate change isn't real.
No, this is not the
That's
place.
all we'll say on that. But yeah.
Anyway,
gotta love the old people.
The overall
let's save
show,
the bees, guys.
The overall show's rating for me when it came to completion was like a 6.57.
Really?
Yeah.
So it went down.
Yeah, because
as it went on.
Well, because like the idea of me having this full fulfilling mystery slowly went away because the less time they spent on making it fulfilling. Yes, the more like kitschy content we got, but it became less meaningful over time. And then by the end of it, I really didn't care about who did what. I was more just like, man, these characters are really fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's about how I feel about it.
Yeah, it just like didn't keep me going, like wanting
Like, it's
to
like
know.
Cody said, he wishes it was more about the podcast than
Yeah.
the murder, because that's literally the more interesting part of the
Yeah,
story.
like Logan talked to me before. He was like, "Do you want to like leave the room when we talk about spoilers? Like, are you gonna watch it?" I was like, "I don't really care. This show just isn't that. I don't know. It just doesn't. With everything out right now, it's just not making the list for me."
I think I would give it another shot. I think with a second season, I'm interested. I think I'm going to give it like a 7.6. I think it's solid. It's above average. I think it's one of the better things I've seen this year. Like, we've seen some trash this year, but it's
Definitely.
not going to.
Definitely.
It's not going to like WandaVision
I mean,
or anything like that.
It's way better than a lot of things. Like, I don't think it's anywhere like near Squid Game or Invincible, though, but it's like...
Agreed.
It's like in that realm of like, it's pretty good. It's definitely got a following. People love it. It's very beloved right now. It's like every single time people bring up like Hulu, it's like the first show that everybody's talking about as far as Hulu originals, because it was coming out week by week for a while.
I like that.
Which I can say I'm a fan of.
I like that shows are still doing that. I think that's
It makes suspense
Yeah.
shows better, but at the same time, it's like, well, then we should have still had a better overarching story.
definitely.
If you're planning on people watching it every week instead of like spam watching it, you know, missing some like content. Like, I feel like I missed a lot of the errors within the show because I was watching so much of it all at once. If I was watching it week to week, I would have been like, well, that's not the same thing that they said last week in relation to that, because there was some of that
really,
where it would feel like they abandoned a topic.
yikes.
Like the issue money with his son really kind of just stopped being an issue all of a sudden.
Disappeared. It's
Yeah.
weird.
And like that was a really intense issue in the beginning.
Really intense scene.
That was like a whole episode almost. It took up a good chunk of the time. And it focused on like their how like they don't get along and stuff, and it felt like they were gonna focus on it more. That's weird that they abandoned it.
He is the one that spoils it for them, the one that tells them that what's-her-face knew Tim Kono. He's the one who breaks the
Oh,
news.
really?
Mhm.
How does he find out?
He used to hang out at the
he lived in
Arconian
the
because his dad lives there.
Oh shit. So he was like, was he one of the Hardy Boys?
He was listening to the podcast, and he's like, that girl
Oh.
definitely knows those people. I used to see them all the time around here.
Oh, gotcha.
Isn't that crazy?
What a little narc.
What?
Love it.
I'm kidding. No, I'm glad somebody ratted her out. That's sketch behavior.
It was fucking weird, and the ring thing was weird. And then also, she really wanted to badly fuck her friend Oscar right after he got out of prison. She was like trying to buy him condoms and stuff. Remember?
There's a scene, like the flashback of the day that the friend died. There was definitely something between them, and I think they liked each other, but there was like the girl in the way. So I think it was a long time coming.
But it was weird to see a friend fresh out of prison who snuck up on you in an alleyway and say, we need extra big condoms at the gas station, and notion toward his penis.
Well,
Jesus.
she didn't say extra big. She said extra long.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Go watch it, you guys. I liked it.
I knew you would. I'm glad you liked it, Cody. This feels like this is exactly right up your alley. And I get why
And I
people
was
like
if
it.
you wanted to get me into this kind of content, then this was a good way to do it. Yeah.
Also, like, next year around Halloween, if you haven't seen it yet, like, this is a nice, fun, spooky.
Yeah.
Like,
I posted
real
on
light.
like the Instagram that we're reviewing it, and it's definitely is like mildly spooky vibes. That's what I said. Like,
Yeah, you know,
mild.
it's like real baseline Goosebumps, true
Yeah.
crimes. Like,
it's an entry level.
it's like Goosebumps true crime. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
I like
a perfect example. It's like it's
Family
very,
friendly, like-
very orchestral, very like showy and like fun and Broadway-y, like very production-esque. It really feels like a whodunit, like stage play in a way. So it's nothing
Love-
to be taken too seriously, but it is just like dumb fun.
Yeah. Where can they find you guys at?
Oh shit. Logan and I have a whole nother podcast where we talk about movies.
Another podcast.
Another podcast? We don't have a true crime podcast.
January 25th
Oh my god.
on Crosscut Cinema, youtube.com/Crosscut Cinema, and youtube.com/A Pilot Podcast is a 2-part event. The hosts
Ooh.
over here on A Pilot Podcast will be reviewing movies on the Crosscut Cinema channel. And then the Crosscut Cinema hosts, Madison and Bridget, will be on this podcast reviewing TV shows on
Yes.
January 25th, opposite day, baby. Opposite day
Opposite
special.
day.
Seriously, keep that in mind. Maybe we'll have a channel trailer come out for it, but we're trying to mix it up and like do something fun. And also it's a spare episode for everybody. It's, you know, it's bonus content and it's planned bonus content that you can look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully these will be a little bit longer episodes. So
Yeah.
so if you're like, man, these episodes are really short, or like, you know, we want to hear Cody talk about a movie, those are the days where he'll be talking about movies. Those are the
Should be fun.
that's
Yeah.
the episode, opposite day.
Yeah.
So-
I'm pumped. I'm ready for opposite day.
and this
I was
time,
saying it reminds me of like one of those crossover Disney shows, but anyways, continue.
this time, because it's opposite day, what I want you guys to do is leave a bunch of nice comments. No, I'm just kidding. What I want you guys to do is watch the end of the video instead of just the beginning. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously though, like it'll be like a fun thing for people to like also hear. Like if you don't really listen to Crosscut, you'll hear the host for that on here. And also if you're a Crosscut fan but you really
Yeah.
love Cody, like this is your opportunity to hear him wax on and wax off about something longer than 45 minutes. Yeah. Also, you can check out my personal channel, youtube.com/Logan Tyler. Sorry, Logan Tyler Music, but I am the man.
Yes, you are.
We post bonus content there. Don't be weird about it. And also, like any extra clips we have for either of the shows, any personal projects I'm working on. Also, I did a radio play recently.
Yay!
Oh my God.
Sounds from the Collie Wobbles. I'll leave it in the description. Really cool, just like radio play. I play a character named Ned. He's kind of a puss.
You
It's
play
funny.
like a main character.
I think that it's like an ensemble piece.
Okay.
I think everybody's got like equal
I think
time.
you're the star.
I have a really long monologue though, and
There
it's
you
very
go.
nerve-wracking because I'm reading with all these people who are good at acting, and I just tell dick jokes on
Oh
the
my
internet.
goodness.
So it's a little tough. I felt like, but it was awesome. It was so much fun, and they were like so much fun, and I love all the positive comments everybody's already left, and all the likes and everything. But go give it some more love, and
Yes.
whenever I'm in it, I'll obviously put up like the video. But you guys should just listen to all of them. They're
Yeah.
super fun. Especially if you're into corny murder stuff like this. That's why I really thought I'd mention on this podcast, because they're mainly murder mystery plays, and if you're into only murders in the building, you might be into these.
Yeah.
And that's
Love it.
Hey, Cody, what about you?
Yeah, I have a brand new album out right now. It's called Scorpio. And
guys,
you can listen to it on any streaming platform. Thanks.
Hey guys,
I
it's
also have a YouTube channel. I make new content every Friday and Saturday at noon. I've been getting a lot of love on my most recent Critical Role video, so thank you guys so much. Like literally unbelievable. I've doubled like subscribers overnight. It's crazy.
They're really good.
yeah,
They're good
thanks so
videos.
much.
I like them a lot.
Thank you. So sweet.
Yeah. I put a like on that video, and you should too.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
Same.
No, but seriously, like if you're into Critical Role stuff, like Cody's actually super into it, so he's a fun person to listen to, talk
Mhm.
about the new season and all that good stuff. Okay, well, I think that's it. Anything else to say, kids?
No, I feel like
we
I
love you guys.
said all there is to say about this.
All right, children.
Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want us to watch next.
Peace out, kids.